Can't look up.
What's up, everybody? So, welcome to the group. I wanted to just say shout out where you're coming from. If you're tuning in, drop the 2 letters of your state. We love to see who's watching and from where. So, when you're tuning in, go ahead and drop where you're tuning in from so that we can take a look. So many of you have asked, are these products going to help if you have IBS or fibromyalgia, or maybe you're dealing with some COVID fatigue or post COVID issues, or maybe you just have lupus. We're getting these types of questions. Will these products help me? So I am so excited because we got talking, Carrie and I, and she literally is a success story of it all. And she has a story to share with you. So if you're dropping in, drop where you're coming from. I want to see the state or the country that you're tuning in from. And we'd like to see who's tuning in. So, Carrie, so first I'm going to ask Carrie some questions. We're going to hear her story. Then we're going to get a tiny bit into the science. And then from there, I'll show you how simple it is to get started. All right, Carrie, so go ahead. I know you've been dealing with this. You had dealt with some issues with your health, a lot of issues for about 27 years. And I'd love to know just kind of where you've come from, and then we can get into how this has really been the one secret that has changed everything.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. Chrissy wrote me this morning, and I was just so thrilled to hear from her. So, in back in '95, I had a hysterectomy, and lo and behold, they perforated my bowel. Ended up in the hospital for a long period of time, and ended up very sick. And so after that, I continued to just go downhill, and they kept testing and testing and found out that I had an autoimmune disorder, and it was lupus. So I dealt with lupus and chronic fatigue and um, a history of bowel obstructions and fibromyalgia and just all the lists that came along with uh, the lupus alone. And so it just years and years and years of fighting those symptoms. And I had tried everything that I knew to do, from probiotics to enemas to, medications out the yin yang. I mean, it was just ridiculous, from doctor to doctor to doctor, and injections, and just long list of things, Chrissy, that I went through that, you know, nobody seemed to find answers for anything. So it was from there that a friend of mine reached out to me, and she said, Carrie, please just try this health protocol. And, and so, from there, it's just been history, and I am so blessed and so thankful.
So you had tried quite a bit of things between seeing the doctors, and the doctors didn't really
Yes,
have, yeah, they didn't have like a solid solution for you. They were just trying to treat the symptoms.
exact. I was on so many medications, and the medications were making me sicker. And at one time, I was taking 12 medications 3 times a day.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was taking so many medicines, they were filling me up so I couldn't eat. And so I would gain weight, then I would lose drastic amount of weights because I couldn't eat. And it just went on up and down on a roller coaster from there. So it's just been a long road. And so then, in right after COVID, well, they had said if I got COVID with lupus, I probably would not survive it. And in 2021, I lost my dad in December, and 11 of us got COVID from my dad's funeral. We came home. 4 days later, I got symptoms. I ended up in the hospital for 3 weeks, and I almost died again. They took me by ambulance after being in the hospital here. I went back to the hospital in Lexington, and stayed there, and they almost lost me there. No, no, I couldn't be around my family. I had to tell my dad bye on the telephone when he passed away. And so then I had to deal on top of that with long haulers, COVID, hair loss, loss of weight again, just so many things that I was dealing with, and I didn't know what to do basically. And so I
Okay.
found this health protocol, and it's just basically changed my life.
Okay.
So,
So you had tried other supplements and something
uh,
told you to try this one.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I had tried every probiotic on the market, even
Wow.
the $100 refrigerated, probiotics I had tried. We had tried every medicine for reflux, for I had horrible stomach burning,
Mm,
just nausea, and just so many things that was and my lupus, my ANA numbers were just out the roof, and we could not get my lab work stabilized for any reason. And my B12 dropped. This went up, this went down. It was just a crazy roller coaster ride. And so when I started this protocol, it was just absolutely amazing, because I had tried everything.
okay.
And so that's where we are today.
Okay. So, it's crazy because we go to the doctors and we really want some solutions. And meanwhile, we get sicker and sicker, and you're on all these medications multiple times a
Yes,
day. And then
yes.
you're told that you better not get sick because that's a huge risk for you. So, what I really appreciate about this is you gave this a try. And I'm assuming that your friend shared with you that this isn't just a supplement that you take to relieve symptoms or boost your mood, which this does help with the mood because
Uh, yes, I
go
dealt with
ahead.
depression, the anxiety that I was going through. I was having panic attacks. I was having hair loss. I was yelling at my family. And I'm
Mhm.
not an angry person. I'm a smiley person all the time.
Yeah.
And I was basically living in my home. I would not leave my home. And I'm one that just gets out and goes. And so for basically 2 years, I went nowhere. I was scared to. And I have a team of 3 doctors, which grew to a team of 6 doctors, and no one knew what to do for anything because there were just so many things going on in my body, swelling, inflammation from the fibromyalgia was just out of control. I was in so much pain.
Yeah.
And and there, then there's pain medication that's added to that. Then there's anxiety medicine and depression medicine, and I didn't want to take it, and I just had to find a solution for the things that were going on with me. But I didn't know where else to look. It was just a scary thing. And
Hmm.
I cried a lot because I just was always a people person, and I didn't want to be around anybody. So it was a really scary time in my life. So,
Yeah.
it's just it was hard. It was really
Yeah.
hard.
So I want to shed a little, I want to give a little bit of an explanation to this, right?
Yes,
Because when you're in that looking zone, you're in the looking zone because you no longer want to feel the way that you feel.
exactly.
And, there's still life to give, and you want to be able to live that life, and you want to be able to
Right,
experience that life.
right.
And depression and anxiety and illnesses, that can really stunt your quality of life, if
Oh,
not make you
yes.
just feel completely like, how do I keep moving on?
Yeah.
And so, here at this company, what I appreciate so much is the science. It's no
Oh, yes.
longer, yeah, you're not just taking something to feel better or taking something to hide or mask something. It is a solution based product where we believe that the underlying reason why people are sick and suffering and struggling almost always ties back to our gut health and our gut and our brain and the communication between the two and our
Exactly.
hormones. And
Exactly.
so people take these because it's about time that we took care of ourselves so that we could start to feel like ourselves again.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
people like you come onto the stage and say, I am better. And
I back.
I'm back. And so I here's a couple questions. So you had pain from fibromyalgia. Is that
Yeah.
improved?
Listen, I'm down to 3 medications twice a day. Is it
Amazing.
isn't that unbelievable? I mean, my husband's
Amazing.
like, our medicine bill is down dramatically.
Okay.
I was on 5 stomach pills a day. I'm down to 2, and sometimes down to 1. I was on high-powered fibromyalgia medicines for nerve pain, 5 a day. I'm down to 1. You know, it's just things like this that I saw a remarkable difference. And between the gut brain access, the brain fog that lifted, my quality
Mm,
of life, being able to spend time with my grandchildren, and not living in fear anymore was
yes.
just it just happened so quick that now I can go out to dinner. I can spend time with my grandkids. You know, I've had my grandbaby all day for two
Yep.
days, and she's 6 months old. So, you know,
Oh.
that's been, amazing to me because a year ago I couldn't get off the couch, and I wouldn't get off the couch. I quit doing anything in the house because I couldn't. And
Hmm.
so I researched everything with this company, and I researched every product. And so I knew what I was going into when I started it. And I'm telling you, it is absolutely a life changer.
Yes, I
It
can
is.
tell it's completely transformed your life.
It
So
has.
if you're watching this live and you've been taking these products and you're down medications, I want you to take a minute and smash that heart button or type into the comments down, medications down. I want you guys to help spread this awareness, right? If you're living with less anxiety, I want you to drop in the comments less
Yes.
anxiety. If your energy's up, type energy up. If you are just feeling your life is completely changed, I want you to share in the comments that your life has changed.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
listen, this is the deal, right? It is very a simple process. It can't get much simpler than taking a supplement by morning and drinking a drink, right? You make a
Yes.
drink and you take your supplement and then you just wait and you watch, and sometimes maybe your gut is in bad shape because you're craving terrible foods, right? And then things can improve as your cravings improve and your energy improves. You may find yourself being more active. And so these are phased benefits that start out with a little support in the form of a drink and a pill.
And can
So,
I say one more thing? My
yes,
lupus is stable for the first time in 26 years. It is
yes,
stable, and that is
amazing.
a miracle. That's a miracle.
Well, Carrie, you are such a light, a ray of sunshine. And I know
So are you.
somebody's thank you. Somebody's life is changing right now because they finally have some hope. So, if you are watching this broadcast and you're wondering what the science is or how to get started, I want you to type get started and tag someone who shared this with you so that we can get you some information because you deserve to have some answers. All right, Carrie. Well, Carrie, thank you so much for taking some time out of your busy day to share this with everybody. And guys, we hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.
And thank you, Chrissy, and everybody, and have a wonderful afternoon. God bless.
God bless. Bye bye.
Thank you, darling.